Hi, this is Sam Curricula talking about how you can decrease your energy spending on your average bill. So just to start off with some background information. A lot of people, especially in the college age group, don't know that they can really save energy on their energy bill, and also this can relate to the environment about saving the environment more by uh, con condensing our use of energy so that we can put energy into other things. Um, this kind of relates to the bigger picture about how, if, like I already said, if we do save more energy, there'll be more available for in the time to come. And with some of the things I'll be talking about, you could save up to almost 30% on your energy bill. So just start off with a little graph of what an average breakdown would be for a bill. So you can see that on the left, cooling and heating is at 47% of the average person's bill. This kind of is pretty typical for most people, how, especially in Minnesota, there's going to be a lot of heating bills that have to come. So some context behind it, everybody should really know how much energy they're using and how they can reduce their energy intake. And the interview that I conducted was very helpful in showing me that, like, how kind of to do my own home audit and how to tips and tricks about how to save energy and save my energy bill. So the person I interviewed was Jennifer Marie Rogers. I met her at a Perkins. She's actually a friend of a friend. Um, she is the apprentice of an electrician right now. So she's starting to learn the ropes for all that stuff, and she seems to be pretty well versed in electricity. And we talked about mostly like tips and tricks of how to save energy, and also how to. And she gave me some pretty good details about how to like insulate your home. So moving on to some numbers. The average Minnesota cost for monthly electricity is around 108. I would say this is pretty standard. And also relating to that, for natural gas, it's only at 37, which natural gas is, of course, a lot cheaper to use in the current state right now. The way that most energy bills are calculated in from like Excel or companies like that is usually the current APM or AMP amount, and then also the forecasted consumption based on the previous year, and also the natural gas and electric rate that I already talked about for the average Minnesota cost. So some tips, obviously using cold water so you don't have to use your water heater. Um, Also to be trying to have like get rid of standard appliances and get energy efficient ones, which could save you money over the long run. And also sealing and having proper insulation could really start saving you money over the years. So I also conducted a survey in addition to in addition to my interview. So these are some of the results. I had more questions than this, but I just asked what uses the most energy in your household. 54% of them said lighting, which is not true. Going back to that graph a few slides ago, where usually cooling and heating was, where 24% of them did know that cooling and heating was using the most. Um, Also, what's the easiest way to reduce your energy is what I asked them, and using less water is a very good way to do that. But I was also surprised about turning off light bulbs and things like that, because that's a big issue that I feel like a lot of college age people deal with. And also, I asked them what's the likelihood that you would reduce your energy consumption in your household. A lot of them said yes, but I feel like they're not really going to do that. And a brief summary of what I learned: there's a lot of ways that you can save money. Definitely, you could use some of the tips that I learned today and talk to your own electrician or a representative from Excel or something like that. Um, Yeah, definitely look at the heating and cooling costs first because that's obviously the biggest majority of or where costs come from. Also remember to unplug things that use electricity that you wouldn't think of, like toasters, coffee makers, etc. like that. Um, Also, these are some of the references that I used while I was making this. And of course, thank you very much for listening.